Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Today what's going to be is the second video around this broken tile hillside. We're going to get this one installed on my module here in my train room. Going to get it installed and surround it with the blue foam hillsides, blue foam mountains that I've got on this module with the terrain that I'm going to work on it here. And I'm going to show my method of covering that using used dryer sheets. How I use that and incorporate that dryer sheets into covering the terrain, making the hillsides and the mountains. Stick around, show you how I do that. Let's get into the details a little bit. After you get your hillside foam in place, there might be large gaps. Big gaps need to be filled in so the dryer sheet can flow over the space. And yes, these dryer sheets come out of the dryer and into a box so I can use them for projects like this. I used about 80 sheets for this project. The medium I use is diluted Mod Podge, about a 40-60 mixture with water. But I have also added a brown acrylic paint in the mix to color the ground. It helps show me where I have already worked. Place a dryer sheet to cover an area, then dab the adhesive on the sheet to glue it down. The wetness makes it contour the foam. I use the push pins to hold the sheets in place, which hold the shape until it dries. This is repeated over and over to cover the area. The dryer sheets will and do overlap. Don't worry about that. They do not need to be square or flat. Ground features will be created by these irregularities. Use those push pins liberally to hold the sheets down. I'm using a mixture with brown paint because it will be mostly a dirt mountain. If it was going to be a forested area, I would use the green paint as a base color. Dab the paint, put in a push pin. Now, I already have a base layer of sheets covering the foam, but there are a few small gaps between the ceiling tile piece and the blue foam hillside. I need to add more sheets to fill that area. Overlap the base sheets that I have in place. Put a sheet down, dab on the adhesive, push a pin in to hold it in place, and continue till the area is covered over. You don't need to use a full sheet each time. Tear the sheet in half, cut it to the size that you need. Works just fine. A word of caution though, the area can become saturated with adhesive, which will make that does make the outside shell of the hillside. It will take a little while to totally dry, but at this point I will start to place my classified and sifted dirt and small rocks in the wet areas of the landscape, starting to create rock slides, dirt piles, and vegetation areas. The blue foam's given way to dryer sheet shell. The area now will be covered with ground foam classified rocks and sifted dirt. They will help to cover the dryer sheet seams and foam gaps. You can see that I've planted a few forest areas by using the green paint as a base. Alright everybody, wanted to finish this up. I brought the module outside. so I could get some good natural lighting. So you might hear a plane fly over or kids screaming, but it's just me outside. So this is the module that I worked on. Covered the ground foam with, covered the blue foam with my used dryer sheets. A little bit of ground foam. Did some classification of some natural rocks and dirt that I found not too far from home. And this is what I've come up with. It's not done, but I wanted to show you what I've got so far. You can see the black marks there in the bottom. That's going to be a dry gulch. And so there in the background, right back there, that's going to be the start of the gulch. It'll come down this way and run off the front end. This is what started it also. This broken ceiling tile hillside incorporated into the mountainside that I've got here. So you can see that I was able to use the dryer sheets, blend it in along with the sifted dirt to make it just about seem like it's coming out of the mountain. I'm pretty excited about it. The coloring is a little bit off, it seems like, but I'm going to fix that up. Here's the hillside, or here's the mountain corner that I've got. And again, this one's not finished either, because right here, that's going to be a mountain tunnel for cars from the road that comes right here. So this module, this project is not completed by any means, but I wanted to show what I could do, what could be done with used dryer sheets. And incorporating the broken tile hillside. This is also why I like the used dryer sheets over the brown foam, or over the blue foam, because if I decide to plant a tree, all I have to do is poke a hole and put it in there. I don't have to worry about drilling through the hard hydrocal or any of those hard products. So again, personal preference. The dryer sheets forming over the blue foam are unique in a way because they give you contours that you had no idea and had not thought about. This is one right here that just came out of it. When I glued them down, this just became a natural trail. And so I accentuated it with the lighter sifted dirt that I had to make it look like a worn trail. Hadn't planned it, but that just came out of using the dryer sheets in this situation here. Another one that came out was this gully that happened here between these two pieces of foam that I had. When the dryer sheets contoured from this one to this one, I had a natural gully. I could have pulled them tight and it would have been straight across, no problem, but I pushed it down, glued it down, and now I have a gully that I can work with right there. So my point is, fellow trained modelers, I'm not trying to sell you on used dryer sheets or sculpt-a-mold or any of those things, hydrocal. This is just an option that you can use. You can see that it's pretty close to seamless. Got a little crack right there from it drying that I've got to fill in with more dust. But I can do that. And if you look, I can see right here, there is a dryer sheet that goes right across there. So I'll have to fill that in a little bit more, but I'm not worried about it. It just adds character, adds a little bit of intrigue and instinct into it as to what's that. Same thing with that little fold right there, and this little crease and that little crease right there. All those came from just the dryer sheets being put into place. Same thing with over here down this side. Just turned into a feature because of the used dryer sheets. Speaking of seams and creases, you can see right here, there's an exposed
portion of the upper dryer sheet and the lower ones. You can see them right there, and all you have to do to fill those or cover them over is you sprinkle a little bit more dirt or rocks over it, and it takes care of it. So this is what I've got. As we all know, model railroading's never completed, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at to this point on this module, on this piece of my layout. The broken tile hillside incorporated well. I love it. I've got the blue foam covered. I'm going to be adding some other projects to this piece. Subscribe, follow along, and you can check those out. Again, that broken tile hillside is another video. You can check it out. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care, everybody.